Welcome to another episode of the Joe Zone podcast. And today I have sitting with me Celesté Mitchell.
Hey.
I must actually say Celeste Hip Hop Chick Mitchell.
If you wanna, it's kind of long for a business card, so it's just Celeste Mitchell. And let me see if I got this right. The name of the podcast is Joe Zone.
Yeah, like the Joe Zone.
The Joe Zone.
Yeah. That's my nickname. I don't know, I came myself. We have
What's my age?
What's her age? We also have her daughter Shay with us tonight.
Yes.
She's like also going to be in the podcast while we're talking. So yeah, she's part of our show tonight. She's drawing beautiful things there of us.
Wales.
Wales. Okay, I'll proceed to something else. But anyway, Celeste,
Yes.
how did you get started? Did you start with events, or how did you get started? Because I know you're from Good Hope FM.
Yes.
But what happened? How did you get onto Good Hope FM? Where did it all start?
So back in 2008, I was, say 2007, 2008, I was kind of active on the drag racing scene. I had a little Mark 1 Golfy. And I was offered a space at Killarney Racetrack to host an event. They were having the first Street to Strip event, and they offered me like a space to have a hip-hop event because I was also very, very into local hip-hop and the scene, and I knew a lot of people through friends of mine from Mitchell's Plain. And they offered me space to do an event, and then one thing led to another, and we were on the Ready D show doing an interview about the event.
Cool.
Because he was also very active at Killarney Racetrack at the time.
Yeah, drifting and so on.
Yes. And then, but I went there and I didn't want to just like have an interview and be forgotten because one of my dreams was always to be on radio.
That's cool.
And with that being said, we did the interview, and then Dee and I started speaking about the rappers that I know and what exactly that I do at the event. And then like I just threw it out there, like, can we bring some rappers here next week to see what they can do? And really he loved the idea.
Okay.
And he was 100% on board. And then he said that he was planning on having a cypher, but because he's so busy all the time. And you can say the stars aligned, and then that's how I got there. So the following
week...
week...
started the cypher, basically?
Well, Dee and I together, because it was always an idea he was toying with. I think it's just because of his busy schedule, and of course being Ready D, he doesn't have the time to be on the ground hip-hop scene-wise.
Okay.
And because I was, like I said, stars aligned, and the next week I went back with like a few MCs. And then he was like, let's do this again next week. And I was like, sure, let's do it again next week.
Cool.
And for the first 3 years, I was just there as his guest with the cypher session, hosting it with him. And then after 3 years of doing it for free, basically, Good Hope offered me a contract.
So from 2008 till 2000...
So it's from 2009 until 2014.
Okay.
Yeah, it was late 2009. I think it was like October 2009 when I went. Sure. And then April 2014, they offered me a full-time contract as a actual presenter on the show. So that's how my dreams came true.
Cool.
Yeah. Sorry, guys, water break.
No worries.
Yeah. And that's basically it. And then I was there with him since 2009, actually. Yeah.
Okay, and then until 2014, and during that time, like we have to mention it because like didn't Youngster come up in that time through the ciphers or something like that?
Let me tell you. So I met Youngster through a friend of mine in back in also late 2009, early 2010. She was like, yo, my bro, you have to hear this guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool, let's go. And then she took me, and his current DJ Muffin Man had his own like makeshift studio, sound studio, like a recording studio. And we got there, and Yusrik Meyer was there, chilling.
Okay.
Youngster was there, recording his very first mixtape. I remember the very first. He's got like 25. He's got 25 mixtapes and 2 albums, or 1 album, not sure. But he was recording his very first mixtape, and then like we were there, and I met him, and then he just every single week without fail he was in the cypher.
Cool.
Getting his name out there, working very, very hard. He still works extremely hard, which is something to be admired. But yeah.
So besides him, like obviously coming up, I want to know about the other hip hop artists.
Yeah.
Like I've obviously had. I recently found. I think it was in last year. Sometime I found out about Boris.
Yes.
Yeah, and I thought I enjoyed his music. So I was inquisitive about like more hip hop people, and that's basically like I was thinking like who's the best person to speak about Cape Town hip hop? Like Celesté Mitchell, let me get her and start chatting to her. And because I had this platform, I was like, cool, she will speak to me because I have a platform. Like,
so let me tell you, I've got a database of close to 100 MCs that I know are like good in Cape Town, and 100 is a lot, considering it's just Cape Town. So close to about 100, say about 92 or 93 MCs that I've encountered over the 9 years that I've been doing the cypher, that I feel are really, really like good and would make great music given the chance and given the opportunity with studio and the right guidance and things like that. So there's a lot of amazing talent in Cape Town, but not enough mics, not enough platforms, not enough supporters, not enough events happening, not enough paid events. So there's a lot of circumstances within the hip-hop industry in Cape Town that prevent them from being successful.
Okay, but you put on some events, don't you?
I do. I've been hosting my own events, like I said, since 2008.
What's the name of your We Love Hip Hop? Is that the name of your sort of your events company?
We Love Hip Hop was one of my bigger events that I had.
Okay.
It was kind of a big platform. It was the aim with We Love Hip Hop was to create a paid event where every single artist got paid. For being on stage. And of course, to do that, I had to get sponsors involved. And Sprite, shout out to Penbev. They were one of my biggest sponsors. They've always been a huge supporter of local talent and hip-hop within South Africa, not just Cape Town.
It's cool that you get an artist paid. Like,
yes, it was amazing while it happened. But then I fell pregnant, and I was 8 months pregnant when I broke my ankle. So that literally put me out of the game for the longest time. So We Love Hip Hop is coming back this year, though.
Okay, good.
But I've got like 2 other events as well that I do.
Okay, and recently you've become like a DJ at a residential DJ at Grand West. Like.
Yes, a resident DJ.
How did you get that gig?
So my story with DJing goes back to probably say 2012, 2013. I was one of the first students at the Beat Bangers DJ Academy when they just launched. I was actually the very first group of people to attend their DJ school. And then I bought myself like a cheap set of turntables and I'd been messing around. But literally last year, I started taking myself seriously as a DJ. Because again, it's always been my passion. So when my contract ended with Good Hope FM, I thought this would be the next step in pursuing my dreams and mastering my craft, basically. So I started out October, did another course with the Beat Bangers DJ Academy, graduated there, and I've been DJing in clubs most of the time, clubs, outdoor events. And then I saw a post on Grand West's page by their entertainment manager, some guy that does the DJing there.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, let me give this a chance. And then I messaged him, and luckily for me, he knew exactly who I was, because he's been in the industry for so long. And then he was like, yeah, let's do it. And he gave me a shot. So last week was actually my first time.
Okay, cool, man. Well done.
Thank you.
Sorry, we've been hopping around. Yeah, I want to know. Shay's playing with the top over there. It's quite fine, man.
You're supposed to be taking notes. You must make notes, baby. Joe Zone podcast.
No, she doesn't want to. We're hopping around here from thing to thing. I want to know about the Cape Town artists, like besides Boris. Who do you think it's coming up next? I heard this other guy that you. What's the guy's name? Pronounce the name for me, sorry, man.
Mvula Dre.
I don't want to pronounce people's names wrong. So tell me about Mvula Dre. Is he on the scene? I don't even know about these guys.
Mvula Dre has also been around for quite a few years now, because I remember he performed at one of my We Love Hip Hop events, I think in 2014 or 2015, if I'm not mistaken. Also been around for a long time. Super talented guy.
Yeah.
Makes great music, not just a great lyricist as in writing lyrics, but his music is also good.
Yes.
Like musically, he's really, really good. He's currently living in Johannesburg now. They moved there for work opportunities, him and his girlfriend, or wife, should I say. So, but he's still making music. He just released an amazing song as well. Yeah, it's all on YouTube. Just search Mvula Dre. He's really good. But like I said,
but the production value is quite good as well.
Yes.
Like the videos that they shoot in and stuff like that. It's quite good.
Can I tell you something? That comes from another... there's a lot of talented creatives in Cape Town, not just artists. but videographers, photographers, content creators, everyone is so skilled. And some artists, it's a blessing for them because they connect with talented videographers and talented photographers, and they make magic happen on the minimalist budget ever. So like a video that someone in Joburg will pay 30,000 Rand for, it's almost next to nothing here in Cape Town. And that's the beauty of the artists here, is that everyone's willing to collaborate, to create platforms for each other and to make the audience wider. And collaboration is key in Cape Town.
Sometimes you have to sort of go out there and do certain things for yourself before people's willing to help you. Like I had to, for me, like I had to sort of start from from basics, and I'm slowly
from the bottom. Now you're here.
I'm still very small, but we slowly moving up and getting better with each production, and I can see that also in some of the artists.
Yes.
Tell me about the beef that recently happened. Like I asked,
with who's beefing?
What's the guy's name? Boris and Waters. This Waters guy. Who is this Waters guy? Okay, don't you like Waters?
No. There's not an artist in Cape Town that I don't like.
Okay.
The same can't be said about them when it comes to me, though. But like, I will say Waters is talented in his own right.
Yeah.
And Boris is talented in his own right. And sometimes, me personally, I feel a lot of the stuff is orchestrated for attention. Not saying that that's what happened with Boris and Waters, but a lot of the time it is. And as they say, no publicity is bad publicity. But when it comes to beef in Cape Town, my opinion is this, that it's okay when, you know, like it's fine if you guys are going to do it, but don't make it something personal. Like, baby, shh, you can talk when it's your turn. Don't make it something personal. Don't get personal about it. If you're using it as a tool to expand your audience and to get people interested in what it is that you're doing, that's all fine and dandy. It's a business decision. Because a lot of the beef overseas is always orchestrated. It's always PR stunts. In the beginning, it was the same with Casper Nyovest and AKA. They actually had the exact same PR agency. And that's why their beef was public and exaggerated, because it was for the numbers, it was for the attention. And a lot of the time in the States, that's exactly the same thing. Media blows the things out of proportion. Unfortunately, there is no artist in Cape Town that's on that level where media will actually care about. So it all just stays on Facebook. And it all gets perpetuated by people adding their comments and, you know, making things personal. So in my opinion, if you're going to be smart about your beef, that's fine. But if it's purely personal and has no substance and is doing nothing for you or your image or your career, then lass it rather.
So I already know.
Leave it alone.
Without saying, mentioning names, you already gave me the what you felt about that whole situation. Because I know exactly who did what and who said what in that beef. That's interesting. KNO.
Yes.
You is here. I listen to these guys, but I don't have background or anything like that.
Okay.
Can you maybe give us some background?
To be honest, I don't really know KNO, because when
he's a good artist though.
Extremely good. He's a super talented guy, and I know he moved to Joburg for a while.
Okay, a lot of guys moved to Joburg.
He was apparently signed to a label, but I'm not quite sure what happened there, because he is back in Cape Town now. But again, another super talented guy that, if given just the slightest chance, can blow up on an international level. Seriously. And a lot of these guys can. Like, a lot of our artists here are internationally on that level, but they don't have the quality and they don't have the right media attention, and they don't. It's a lot of contributing factors.
But I mean, are you not the media type of person?
I'm just a small little, you know.
So, but and you come in on the show, and you're gonna have your own podcast, and then you're gonna start having your own hip hop thing, and they're gonna come on your show, and then
I try.
Stuff is gonna blow up in Cape Town.
I try my best. Honestly, I try my best, and right now my main goal is to bridge the gap between Johannesburg and Cape Town.
Okay.
Because whether we like it or not, Joburg, it's not just where the money is, but it's also the biggest media hub in Africa, not just South Africa. Like, people don't understand that Johannesburg is literally the media hub of the African continent. So I'm right now, like, my aim for 2020 is to bridge the gap between Johannesburg and Cape Town, where I'm going to try and get our artists here booked over there. So I'm trying to do collaborative events.
I just told my team that earlier, like, I must do something up in Joburg. That's why I'm like sort
Oh,
of
yeah.
smirking up. Like today I told him like I must be able to go to comedy and I must be doing podcasts in Joburg with people.
Exactly.
In one weekend and then come back here, like, and then, you know, just
Make it work, make it happen, and it's possible. It's very, very possible. So right now, I'm moving my hip hop karaoke event.
Yeah.
I'm going to have one in Johannesburg as well.
Cool, man.
So I'm heading
That's
there
dope.
in the next 3 weeks to go and check out the venues and speak to
Nice,
some
quite.
people. But I have a connect there with a also podcast vibes, and they also do events called Hip Hop 411.
Okay.
They've got a massive, massive platform in Johannesburg. So I've met with them. They actually also interviewed me and they're keen to work with me. So I'm excited to get some of our artists down here booked up there. That's the main mission right now this year.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Do you know who Angie Martinez is?
Yes, I do. I love her. I listen to her podcast a lot.
Okay, you remind me of Angie Martinez. Like, you're like
You
a Cape
are
Town
not
version of Angie Martinez.
You're not the first person to actually say that.
Anyway,
Thank you.
She's got she's got this apparently this interview with Tupac.
Yes, I watched it.
Is it?
Amazing interview.
There's another one. There's like parts of that interview that they said she's unreleased and she's only gonna release when she's dead or something. I don't know. But anyway, this is something.
She's got a lot of podcasts with a lot of amazing artists. One that
Yeah.
you should actually really check out is her interview with J. Cole.
Yeah.
That podcast with J. Cole was amazing. Because they don't just speak about music, they speak about everything on a spiritual level as well. Shay Mitchell, please be quiet.
Shout out to Shay Mitchell.
Silence in the court. Yes.
I take it you like J. Cole from. He's
I
your
do.
international. Who you like internationally? Like who else inspires internationally? What are you listening to internationally?
If we must go through my playlist, it will confuse you so bad because
not whatever. Right now, who you listening to? I'm gonna tell you what I'm listening to. It's quite weird.
Okay, right now, because I'm DJing, I don't really listen to one specific artist because I'm trying to stay on top of what's trending and music to play when I do gigs and stuff. But in my own leisure, I love Kendrick Lamar, I love J. Cole, I love old school guys. Like a lot of my playlist is super old school.
Yeah.
Tribe Called Quest,
Interesting.
that vibes, yeah. So
I got a lot of old school vibes that I listen to and different types of music. But recently I watched this documentary of Little Peep. Are you familiar with the artist?
anyone with Lil in front of their name gives me anxiety. I don't know. I don't listen.
So I'd
Lil
like
Wayne,
to change your mind.
Lil Wayne gave me like PTSD. I'm
Is
done.
it?
I'm done with the Lils, honestly.
Is it? You really feel that way?
Yes. I'm sorry.
Check yeah, I can remember when Elvis first came out,
Yeah.
and the people were like, oh my God, what is that? And then when hip hop or rap or
Yes.
gangster rap happened, and the people were like, oh, what is this?
Uh-huh.
Don't you think that maybe the evolution of this new...
No.
No, you don't even want to give it like
Because
a...
I know where you're going with this. No.
Maybe.
No.
The reason why I'm saying this is because in my comedy I have like this bit where I like mock like the sort of the new generation, where I mock them. I say something like they're walking around with this multicolored hair, they look like leprechauns at the end of a rainbow. But we're in South Africa now, so does that make them tokalosies? Like? So I almost like mock them with their clothes, and I mock them with like how they're dating people on different apps.
Yeah.
And they drink this stuff called lean. Are you familiar with lean?
Very.
Yeah. So like they like drink it. It's basically cough syrup and Sprite.
Yeah, a lot of them have
And
died from it.
Yeah, and like when I was young, I was running away from the cough syrup. So I almost like make these comparisons. And then I watched a documentary of this guy, Little Peep. And I watched the whole thing, and I was like, oh, there's certain parts of it that's like a bit cringy, but I can see there's some artistry in there. Like it's almost like you can't knock a true artist. I don't know, but
Look,
if you say
all of them, okay, let me put it to you this way. All of them are an artist in their own right.
the little Peep situation. Well, what do you think about those type of artists? You said that if an artist has Lil in front of it,
Yeah, it gives me anxiety. Like Lil Wayne literally left me with PTSD, I won't lie. Because everything, the Carter 3 album was great. Everything before the Carter 3 album was great. And then you can literally hear him descend into I don't even know how to explain it, but that's when he was on the lean bars, and you can hear the how his music just degenerated, if I can say that. Like it just the quality of his lyrics was terrible. The sound of his music just wasn't the same, and that's because he was on that whole lean vibes. Like he admitted that he had a stroke already, and this man is young.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the Lils, my personal opinion on that is that a lot of these guys come from very wealthy families.
Sure.
A lot of them are educated, but because of the mainstream media and because of what the mainstream is eating up right now, a lot of them fall into that little basket, if I should put it that way. A lot of them put themselves in that box where, you know, you don't have to really even be pronouncing your words properly to make a song.
Okay.
You don't even have to be saying anything really to make a hit song or a hit as classified by the commercial scene. So it's actually very sad, but it goes a lot deeper to where I personally feel like they are trying to dumb down an entire generation of black kids. Let me say that. Because kids follow who they look up to, you know? And what's happening now is that, I mean, lean has finally reached South Africa, where school kids are overdosing on cough syrup and girls are falling asleep in parks in broad daylight, bunking school, drinking lean and falling asleep in the park. And it's those type of things are so dangerous, but that's what mainstream media or mainstream music is doing to a generation of kids. And it started, apologies to the Lil Wayne fans, literally with Lil Wayne. Okay. Like if you trace it back, that's literally where it started.
Yeah, in the plastic cups, we all remember
yes. Rapping about lean and you know, the content of their music is so degrading and it's so uneducational that it's actually annoying for me as a DJ and someone who's been in the music industry. It's hard for me to find good quality music these days to play. You know what I mean?
Like, there is a less good quality music.
Yeah, and they don't have messages. Like if you look at the reason why hip hop exists today is because in the 80s, black Americans needed a voice. They needed a way to express themselves, and they found that in hip hop, in rhyming, in, you know, spreading a message through lyrics. It's not like they could stand on a podium and speak.
But hip hop, and from what hip hop is doing and what Lil Peep is doing, is two totally different things. Lil Peep has not created hip hop. He's something else. He's an artist in himself. So he's
like
not
what kind of artist? I don't know Lil Peep. Like Edge McCartney.
I don't know. He's just an artist. Like I don't see artists as being one specific thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like you can't. If you're a comedian, you can be an artist, but if you can be a graphic designer, you can be an artist.
The word artist is a very wide spectrum.
You can be an artist that is like acting, and that same person can be singing as well, and they can do it both well.
So are you saying he's that type of artist, but not a hip hop?
Nah, he's not a hip hop artist. I don't think he's a hip hop artist. He's like a pop artist. Or
I got you. Okay.
Or something else, man, because he does his own videos as well. So they do these videos, right, and it's like poor production value. So they like might take VHS, you know, that old school tapes. They take those tapes and they mash it up and they create something totally different. Now there is a bit of hip hop in there when they sort of rhyme and stuff like that. So there is like a sense of, but it's not hip hop. It's not hip hop. It's something else. So
no, I legit can't listen to anyone with Lil in front of the name. Like it's not even. I'm not even trying to be funny. Like I'm not even.
Each the way.
But I'm not even trying to be funny because, like I was saying, there's no message in the music. There's no lyrics in the music.
So the specific dude that I'm talking about, he like his message is very emo and it's very like almost like a bit suicidal.
Okay, almost like XXX.
Yeah. He made a song with this type of dude. So is XXX He's hip hop. He's not hip hop. Is he singing or something?
No, he's a hip hop artist. He's a rapper. Well, was a rapper.
But he's like sometimes when he does like.
Yeah, it's
like more like slurring, like just like zoom, 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 zoom.
But that's the thing. That's what I was trying to say. Like, hip hop has transformed. The art of rapping has transformed. The art of emceeing has transformed. A lot of MCs stay true to the art form, and still have, you know, these jiggy beats, or what's the word I'm looking for? trap beats, trap. Like trap is the
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
right
yeah, I
now.
know about trap.
So a lot of there are some artists who stay true to the form of emceeing or the art of emceeing and can still rap over trap beats. And then you get the lils who just completely lose you on a song.
Yeah.
Like Migos is one of them. Have you googled Migos lyrics? Like the music's nice.
Like that song.
This music's nice to jam. I play a lot of the music.
See, but you do enjoy it. So are they
I play a lot of music in my no, they're artists, but I would not necessarily refer to them as rappers or MCs. No, they do what they're doing is hip hop. It's considered hip hop in the mainstream, but I would not.
Nas pop or something.
Baby,
Trap.
you're gonna burn your eyes. No? I would not necessarily consider them MCs because if you look at the definition of an MC, what these rappers are doing today is not that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like, just Google Migos lyrics one day. If you're bored, just Google the lyrics and see how you feel after that.
Nah, I've seen some of the lyrics. It's this thing. I know some.
It makes no sense.
I like that lyrics. Working like that song.
Yeah.
I don't know what that even means. What does it all mean?
What is it? No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
So, do you like Lauryn Hill?
I love Lauryn Hill. How are you gonna win when you ain't right within? I love Lauryn Hill. Yes.
Okay, I'd
this generation needs a Lauryn Hill.
Yeah, no? Yeah.
But
because she could sing, she could rap. I was listening to some of her music the other day. Like, she was like singing, and I listened to.
And there's do you know what I find impressive is that when an artist can make you dance and share a message.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If you can vibe to something and they're still telling you or giving you a message, giving you inspiration.
That's why you like J. Cole,
That's why I love J. Cole. That's why I love Kendrick Lamar. That's why I love. There's so many artists that are doing it. Even Eminem. Eminem's album Kamikaze, not his latest album, the previous one, Kamikaze. He went in on a trap beat. And it was literally like a big FU to trap artists to say like, you guys are making trash. Like you can have a trap beat and still have a message and still spit lyrics that make sense.
What do you think of his recent album? Like you skipping over his recent album?
Do you know, like I'm not the type of person to listen to something once and then give an opinion. So I'm still listening to the album. Not as impressive as Kamikaze, I will say.
Is it?
Like, it's not as impressive. I think with Kamikaze, that entire album was a message. And he had a mission with that album. This was a surprise album. And there's not one particular song that I'm vibing to yet because I'm still trying to comprehend the entire album.
I stopped listening to Eminem for one lyric.
What?
Nah, it's stupid. It's just one day I was jogging and I was listening to this lyric and then I stopped listening and I was like, nah, this turned me off him for a while. I listened to the new song, the new popular song, Darkness. I enjoyed that. Like he's always his popular song, like Not Afraid, The Darkness.
Yes.
Those type of ones I listened to. But he had this one lyric on Dre's album, Compton.
Okay.
Something like I'll rape you and make you come, like something like that. I'll make a bitch come and rape you, or I'll rape you and make you come. And I was just like, nah. So this is at a weird time for I listened to it at a weird time for probably listening. There was something topical happening in South Africa at the moment, and then listening to that, and then I was like, yo, if I listen to this and say, for instance, I start listening to it, or I listen to it, and I let my son start listening to Eminem's early music, then what perspective is he gonna get?
Exactly.
Like, so anyway, that's why it sort of put me off. But I see he's now, I think in his recent album, he's not going, he's sort of being
He's
more,
sober.
Yeah.
He's sober now. Yeah.
He's that.
He's sober now, yes.
But anyway, that wasn't like a lyric. I don't know, but I mean, it's comedians also. Comedians also do these things where they push the line, sort of like. But you must have a line in freedom of speech. You know what I mean? It
is a form of freedom of speech, but I do believe that, you know, and this is what makes it so hard for me as a female in this industry, because a lot of the hip hop is chauvinistic and derogatory and so insulting to females.
Yeah.
A lot of the time. And there was a time when I also wasn't really listening to Eminem. I won't lie, even though back in the day I was a huge Eminem fan, like super huge. Like I even wanted to perform one of his songs at our school concert when I was like in standard 8. I'm talking about
Why didn't you?
Back in 2000, because it was not appropriate. So my brother did, for my part. So yeah, I'm old, guys. I see you looking at it. I'm not as young as I look, okay? So it's very difficult as a female in the industry, and I suppose even more so for the artists in the industry, because a lot of what sells is this trash, and you know, being a chauvinist on your music. And Jay-Z's a perfect example.
But I think now people are changing. It's hip hop has changed sort of, but.
Do you think for the better or for the worse?
In that sense of not talking that way to women, like, no worries. Like in that sense of in talking to women, you don't hear that so much. Like if you look at even look at artists like we spoke about, like Youngster, he's no more speaking like that way. He's like, you got that brown girls, that that's a beautiful song, and it's more like a tribute to women rather than like even like Eminem is not gone so hard on that anymore in his recent album. Like I listened to a little bit of it. The current state of where we're at, like with how men is treating women in hip hop, I think has changed. But it's you don't think so?
Well, no. You were speaking about Youngster and his music, and I was going to touch on that. I was going to say, like, there are a lot of artists who have switched up their approach to how they write their music because they have females in mind. I will say that South African hip hop and South African artists in their personal capacity have a very long way to go when it comes to respecting females, specifically in the industry.
Okay.
Because personally, I still get disrespected by a lot of mofos out there on social media. And it's literally because I'm a female doing what they can't.
Yeah.
So men in South Africa have a very long way to go when it comes to respecting females in general, but when it comes to within the hip hop industry, also very long way to go.
Those are the weak men, though.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like, I could get into a lot of things right now about my experiences in the industry.
Yeah.
Not just men, women too.
Yeah.
Women too, but it's very sad, but hopefully we can grow. There is hope for growth, but a lot of it is done for attention.
Yeah.
A lot of it is done for attention. A lot of it is done because it comes from a place of ignorance.
Yeah.
So yeah, but there's a lot of room for growth. Like I love Cape Town. I love my artists. Like there's a lot of them who hate me.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn. I love y'all. Anyways. And I'll support their music, I'll listen to their music, but I won't necessarily speak about them on my platforms.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the sour grapes come from. Because I got a lot of hate, should I say, when I started speaking about Youngster. This was back in 2010, when I spoke about Youngster all the time on social media. And that's just because I was exposed to not just him as an artist, but him as a person. I've always believed in him as an artist. I've always believed in him as a person. And I got a lot of hate for that.
But you do more things, more than just for Youngster. I see you do a lot of things in the industry itself. I think so. I can see. I mean, people...
I try.
Nah, people can see. People know and stuff like that. People know also good energy. When people's putting good energy into something and when people's putting not good energy. People can sense it. I sense in the word. So, yeah, I have a good sense that you're working hard and you have to you're working so hard tonight that you have to bring your daughter with you and I promise you like this little bit of I can see you willing to sacrifice like just an hour and stuff like that. But I mean this little sacrifice is gonna go a long way for you.
Can I tell you something? What a lot of people don't know is that a long time ago I realized that my purpose is to help other people succeed. Everything that I've done since I started, including my very first event at Killarney, it's never been about me. In the beginning, I started because I wanted to create a platform because there wasn't enough platforms in Cape Town for artists to just perform. Yeah. And then it moved on to the radio. I wanted to create a platform for artists to be heard on a level that they weren't being heard on before.
Yeah.
And that's why I sacrificed 3 years of my life. I drove using my own petrol to Sea Point once a week. I fetched artists in Khayelitsha, drove them back to Khayelitsha. I fetched people in Kuils River on my own dime, in my own time. Female, driving around late at night, dropping MCs all over Cape Town. A lot of people don't know that. Then I left my day job to pursue what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
I sacrificed a lot of money because I was very young, earning a hell of a lot of money. I was working for Nestle at the time as a sales rep. And I sacrificed that paycheck to be able to do what I'm doing today. And I'm still doing it. And because it comes from a place of love.
But you getting wins.
I hope so.
You getting wins.
I hope
You
so.
didn't win now. You winning. You won. So we seeing you win. Don't worry. We getting there. But we're not.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're gonna wrap up. Thank you for coming.
Already?
Yeah. Thank you for coming on tonight.
You're welcome.
We covered a lot of topics. I think you should come on again. And
I would love to.
Beyond that, you must have your own podcast because, like, I want to come on your
Coming
podcast,
soon.
podcast and stuff like
Yes.
that. It should happen, and yeah, I look forward to seeing it. I need to go check out like Boris. Like I haven't seen him like.
Oh, you're missing out, eh?
Yeah,
You're missing out.
I enjoy his music.
So
very
I've
much.
got another event that I'm doing in collaboration with a good friend of mine. His name is Kati. Shout out to Kati.
Cool.
It's called the Talent Factory.
Yeah, I checked out that. What is that about?
The Talent Factory, sorry. It's literally a old factory that was refurbished into an event space. And our mission with the Talent Factory is, I don't know if you remember the base back in the day,
Yeah.
where a lot of people used to gather like in the name of hip hop and just together and enjoy
Was
each
that in
other.
the northern south?
It was in town. It was in town.
town?
Yeah, during apartheid times.
Okay.
So-
I thought there was some hip hop event or MC event in the northern suburbs. or
Oh,
something.
that was Kuils River. That was Lyrical Warfare, and that
Oh,
was in
sorry.
2006, 2007, 2005.
You know, I was
2007.
part of a rap group.
You were?
Yeah, RD.
Huh?